All right, gradual acclimatization. So you're going to get acclimated gradually, right? Yeah. How you do that? You do that sitting in the house in the air conditioning during the summer, playing PS2s, texting away. I guess it's already up to PS4, isn't it? That's how. Okay. No, it's not a good idea to do that. So this is the best way to avoid your heat stress. Get used to the weather. Back in the day, boys that played football, then during right before football started, they'd be out hauling hay. They'd be out in long sleeve shirts, blue jeans, got their ropers on, and they're throwing up hay onto a great big trailer. Boys don't do that anymore. They sit at the house. They texting girls. Hey girl, what's up? Yeah, exactly. So you got to get accustomed to the heat and acclimate to exercising in hot temps. Thus, why we have the summer program. All right? Yes. Yeah. It's right here. It's right here. They go in, lift weights, and they go do some running. So, if you're not going to do that, get outside. Go work. Lift weights and go running. I don't think it was 90 seconds before I said that, right? Every day? Okay. So, get out. Get ready. Get your stuff going. Provide, come on, let's go back. Make sure that if you're doing this, you provide yourself breaks. Okay? Don't go out day one and run at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Not a real smart idea. Go out and either run in the morning or run late in the evening. All right. Now, as far as football, the UIL requires that they have 4 days of football without pads. They can wear their helmet, but they can't wear any pads. Now, that means everybody. So if you start on day one, the first 4 days, you're not wearing pads. They wear pads on Friday. You come in the following Monday. Those next 4 days, you cannot wear pads. You come in the following Monday or Tuesday or whenever. Those first 4 days, you can't be out there in pads. So that's required. So who are these people who are going to get hot anyways? Well, large muscle mass people. Why is that? Increase the muscle increases your metabolism. You increase your metabolism, you increase your temperature. Exactly. So they're already started at a little elevated temperature. Okay? How about someone who's overweight? Are they? Yeah. If they're overweight, fat works as an insulator. I didn't say anything about that. But if you're overweight, how do you get that way? And there you go. Exactly. That's all I do at home is I eat and play video games. So there you go. All right. The overweight person is probably overweight because they didn't go to the summer program and start working out. Not necessarily always, but certainly there's more calories being brought in than what's being burned. So the overweight person also remember that fat is a great insulator from heat escaping. Okay? So overweight people. What about fair-skinned people? They do get red. So, but here, this young lady here, very fair-skinned person, blonde hair, right? So where is your family from? Your nationality? Ireland. So from Ireland, what's the weather like in Ireland? The weather is really pretty laid back in Ireland. It's not hot. Scandinavian countries, they're not hot, right? So how many years has your family been away from Ireland? How many generations? Your grandfather was already here in the States? Great grandfather? Great-great-grandfather. Okay, so let's go with great-great-grandfather. Okay, my great-great-grandfather. But if we look at my nephew, who that would be my great-grandfather. So my great-grandfather was born 1870. So that's 150 years. Holy smokes. But how many generations of people of her family was living in Ireland past 150 years? Probably a bunch, because there weren't, like great big Queen Elizabeth II and airplanes and so forth to bring people around. It's pretty big. So let's move one of these tables. She needs to get on one. Do you need one too? I think there's water. As we go back to what I was saying, your whoever's here, more than likely, is not American Indian, more than likely, and has come here from somewhere else. We're the big melting pot, right? So if your ancestors came from Northern Europe and you're fair complected, you have got centuries upon centuries of genetics getting used to living in Northern Europe. Do you really think just 150 years or 3 generations or 4 generations is going to break that to be efficient with handling heat? It doesn't. It doesn't. So that's why you see these fair-skinned people who are probably from a Scandinavian descent have a tough time with the heat. Now, if we go outside when it's cold, they never shiver. All right? So, all right? Red hair, blonde hair goes back to being Scandinavian. All right? So, we get that, right? Yes. Good. All right. Your uniforms can make a difference. They need to be short sleeves. They need to be perforated. They also, the color can make a difference. All right? Our practice helmets that are white, they actually are 7 degrees cooler than a black or dark blue football helmet. 7 degrees. That's a lot when it comes to 105 degrees heat index. So think about it. Your socks. Do you want to wear socks all the way up to your knees? Probably not, because you're not getting the evaporative heat process or heat exchange. All right? There's your helmet. All right. Your jerseys. Why wear a black jersey if you don't have to? It absorbs the heat. If you need to wear a jersey and you're our colors, I mean, I don't like maroon because it's really dark, but you can get white, gold, okay? Perfect. You got white and you got gold. Somehow they would think they have to have maroon. Okay, well, get her done, but it's a whole lot better than black. All right. And your shoulder pads. You can get up to 115 degrees under shoulder pads. So when you go out to football practice, our group, during August, who here wants to wear a sweatshirt? Or let's go even one better. Who here wants to wear a coat? And that's the same kind of stuff that's on the inside of those shoulder pads. All right? Corey Stringer, which you'll one day. Did you guys do EAPs yet? Emergency Action Plan? All right. Well, then you'll learn about him. He died in Minnesota in 87-degree temperature. To us, that's like a nice cool day. But to somebody who's 310 pounds wearing shoulder pads and a purple helmet, it was too much and it killed him, unfortunately. All right? So, where are we at? All right. Weight records. How much does water weigh per gallon? 8 pounds. 8 pounds a gallon. So, As I was telling you about the guy that came in from practice one day and he had cramps from his chin to his toes, he had lost 20 pounds of weight in one day of football practice. One day. All right? At 20 pounds, he's over 2.5 gallons lost in water. Well, of course he's going to need some help. And he went into full body cramp. So if you weigh your athlete before they go out, and then you weigh them after they come in, now here's the whole thing about that. How are you going to weigh them? Well, obviously on a scale, but how on the scale? What are you going to have them wear? Huh? Absolutely nothing. Yes. So, weight records. Okay, so let's say that they're wearing their shimmel, their little half shirt, right? And I weigh them. And then they come back in. So let's just use round numbers. He weighs 200 pounds as he goes out, and he's got his gray shirt on. He's got his gray shorts on, right? He comes back in. He strips down to his gray shirt and his gray shorts. Now he weighs 192. Oh, he lost 8 pounds. No, he lost more than 8 pounds because that shirt wasn't soaking wet with sweat when you weighed him the first time. So if you're going to do weight records, they've got to be naked. So you don't think that that's going to apply in a high school setting? Yeah, probably not. So also take your temperature and humidity readings. If it's too hot or too humid, the heat index is way up, you've got to cancel practice or put it in the gym or go out without wearing pads. Be smart. Because I promise you, when you're out there and you're too hot, do you really care about what's going on? The only thing you care about is finding some shade and, oh my gosh, when is this over? And that's the same, if not worse, for those that are out there playing sports. Okay. Electrical storms. Huh. It doesn't do it. Okay. Let me find this on here. And what I'm going to do. There was a TV show when I was a kid. About lightning. Okay? Remember when we have the lightning storms? Okay. I'm going to say start, and then I'm going to say stop. When I say start, you start counting. Okay? All right. Ready? Ready? Start. Yes, sir. Stop. Let me. Huh?
I got 16. I got
30, 16, 19. It's actually Imagine that, actually 20.08 seconds. Okay, because of that, there's a discrepancy of, you had 4 seconds, so there's 6 second discrepancy. 6 seconds discrepancy will decide whether a football, baseball, softball team is staying to practice or is off the practice field. Always have a watch. I would prefer a watch with a second hand or with a second on the LED. Always have a watch, because as you will see, lightning will kill you. All right? So you count at 20 seconds. How far away is that lightning strike? 20. You're saying 20 miles. Okay. How far? You said a mile for every second, right? Mile for every 30 seconds. So you're saying that that was 4/5 of a mile away. What do you think it is? 36 miles per second. Okay. Anybody ever down here when the train goes by? And they hear it? Okay. So when a train goes by, you hear it. And then as it keeps going, what happens to the sound? Have you not ever heard it changes pitch? You know what that's called? It's called the Doppler effect. Okay? You have the speed of light followed by the speed of sound when you see lightning, and then you hear the thunder. So obviously, which one's quicker? The lightning, the seeing the flash. And then the difference is 5 seconds for every mile. So it's only 4 miles away. All right. If you get to 50 seconds or less, then you obviously have to be off the field. 50 seconds or less, you need to be off the field. So there's computerized monitoring that we use. There's also the handheld that are over there on the very top. Those will go off if you start a gator. All those are is an AM radio. And if you ever drive listening to AM radio, which I do all the time, and you get in a lightning storm, you'll hear the static in the programming. That static is then picked up by that handheld device, and it then sends the light up to where it says it thinks it knows where it is. So all it is checking out static. Accurate? Not the best, no. The computer modeling is waiting for a strike to happen. But I actually sat out here at a soccer game. There was a lightning strike, and it was 2 seconds before the thunder, and it was loud, and it never showed up on the phone. So are they 100% accurate? Absolutely not. So you need to know your flash to bang and be confident in it. But you also need to make sure that you're doing it with something that is more accurate than just 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, etc. All right? So use a weather service and find out your forecast. Let coaches know beforehand if you've got anticipated bad weather coming. And if all else fails, use the flash to bang. Always use it. Okay? So when you see a flash, every 5, you divide by 5, and that tells you you see a flash. You start counting. You hear the thunder. That's when you stop. Take that number, divide by 5, and that is your miles in distance. Lightning can occur without thunder, but thunder can never occur without lightning. You got that? There's different kinds of lightning. There is air to ground, and then there's cloud to cloud. Has anybody ever gotten static and then they touch someone and they shock them? Isn't that fun? No. It's not fun. But it is if I'm doing it. All right? But that's exactly what it is. You're building up static up in the clouds. It finds a place to release that static, and bam, there's a lightning. So lightning can't occur without thunder, but thunder cannot occur without lightning. Now, you got to find shelter. If it's within 10 miles, shelters must be sought, and you've got to make it quickly. A dugout. Is a dugout shelter? Absolutely not. How about a building? Yes. What about a bus?
No. They made us get on a bus.
If that's all you got, yes. Now, why do people think you're safe in cars?
They made us get on the bus last time.
Yeah, the old wives' tale of, hey, it's got rubber wheels, so it's not grounded. Actually, the lightning goes around the bus. Okay? It goes around it. If you're touching the metal bus, and even if you're on the inside, you get struck by lightning, you're going to feel it. So, when you get to that, it's a 30 minutes without any lightning before you can go back out on the field. If it gets down to 1 minute and you get another strike within that 10-mile barrier, you start the clock over at 30 minutes.
And then we walked right back out and it happened.